Hey gang, Professor McElroy here. We're in week 4, learning module 4 for corporate communication and design. This week is all about our post-course assessment. I always try to leave week 4 for open lab time to complete and submit any outstanding work, anything you haven't submitted yet. Everyone is up to speed pretty much with the first 3 learning modules. So this week's all about your post-course assessment. So if you're up to speed, it gives you tonight as an open lab night, and it gives you till Sunday night at midnight to submit your post-course assessment. Now, let's take a quick look at the project at hand, kind of the description of the course, the project, post-course project, and we'll kind of walk through it just for a minute. This lecture is just a short little introduction to the post-course assessment. And then you guys are on your own to show me what you've learned, really, honestly, through Graphic Design 1, Graphic Design 2, Visual Communication, and now Corporate Communication and Design. So we've had about 16 weeks worth of graphic design instruction, laying the foundations of Photoshop, Illustrator, and InDesign. And I hope that this last post-course project and this little sequence of 4 courses is your best one yet. Remember, these post-course assessments are, in essence, portfolio pieces. So hopefully when you get to your post-course assessment in each one of your GRA or design courses, you produce something you're proud of to potentially showcase in a visual online resume, AKA your portfolio. Because remember, any potential clients, any potential employers, they're looking for you to visually showcase your understanding of the software applications, your design theory, and your ability to complete something to a professional level of completion. So this post-course practicum should be no different than any of your other post-course practicums. You should be putting in a solid amount of work, some prep work, some research, some gathering of materials, some potentially sketching of concepts, feeding your brain with successful design solutions that inspire you. And then from there, producing your post-course assessment. Remember, I need a PDF. Don't be sending me an InDesign file that has empty containers because the images are on your computer and you're giving me a file that has linked images in it, which is what InDesign is. Make sure you're doing a export or a save as a PDF. That way it flattens the image, it removes the links, and allows me to see your final product exactly the way you created it on your computer. So just remember that as you're submitting it. We're going to create a little 5-page, in essence, InDesign catalog, something that we could post as a PDF out on the internet, or we could email to customers, or we could potentially publish in some kind of multimedia environment, which could include an app. Remember, Photoshop, Illustrator, and InDesign are the applications of choice. Those are the ones we're using. We're targeting a young demographic here, 17 to 26, right? So we want to make sure that we're hip with what we do, right? You want to make sure that your design targets the target market or target audience. Each page should be 1024 by 768, right? So when you set up your InDesign file new, it needs to be 5 pages and the document needs to be 1024 by 768. That is a 16 by 9 format. That is landscape format. And that gives us, in essence, a widescreen page layout for any device or any multimedia experience that we want the file to be submitted in. Now, when you're creating this clothing company, right, you want to make sure that you create an original logo and you do a minimum of 4 original illustrations or t-shirt graphics. Obviously, the logo and the illustrations would lean towards Illustrator. Any kind of digital mock-ups, like putting your drawing on a white t-shirt, you might want to use Photoshop for. And then, of course, the laying out of the 5 pages will be done in InDesign. So we should cross over all 3 applications as we're producing our post-course assessment. Everyone has done so well evolving this session with their understanding of typography, lettering, kerning, visual hierarchy, the kind of balance of elements on the page. I could see the evolution of your thought process, and it's becoming more mature. And I'm very happy with that. We're not only learning our basic software application skills, we're also learning a professional output with the products that we're creating. So really excited about that. Take your time with this little 5-page interactive catalog. There are custom ink. There is Spring, which is SPRI.NG. There are so many kind of trendy, create your own, we design our t-shirt style of companies. If you Google it, I mean, there's just so many. So use those as inspiration, what textures, what color palette, what typography, their fonts, what the overall look of the things are, because you want to replicate that inside of your potential design so that we make sure we hit that younger demographic. I'm also sure I'm going to see your design sense, your style come out in this project. Everyone's will be a little bit different based on kind of how their sense of design has evolved over, really honestly, the 4 sessions of basic graphic design that you've taken. So I really look forward to this final project. And remember, PDF, save this as a PDF, please. You have a whole week. You have the open lab tonight. If you have anything you want to bounce off of me, any ideas, anything you want to share, a URL link of a company that you're thinking about creating kind of this interactive catalog with, please feel free to send me an email, share the URL with me. I'm happy to give feedback as you're kind of pushing through to your post-course submission. Remember, we're looking to develop a background, a middle ground, and a foreground in your design. We want to make the depth of our kind of creative application. We want to kind of push that forward a little bit. So if you want to do a Google search for clothing catalogs, you're going to see a lot of online catalogs. Lucky Brand, Aeropostale, Abercrombie, Hollister, Ann Taylor, I mean, Banana Republic. I mean, there's so many of them. Take a look at those. Do a search for online clothing catalogs. Search for specific clothing brands that you like and see what the style is, the typography, the color palette, the perspective of imagery, how they showcase clothing, whether it's t-shirt designs or jeans or whatever it is. And let's see if you can't produce a thoughtful, professional, portfolio level quality post-course assessment. I have every bit of confidence in each one of you. You've really evolved over our 4 sessions, and we're really starting to get to a point now when we go out and we learn some of the individual independent software applications with Adobe CC, that you'll be able to take that new evolved design sense and apply it to any of the software applications that we're using, whether it's Adobe XD or Adobe Animate or any of the applications in the Adobe CC bundle. So everyone have a great week. I can't wait to see what you produce. And I look forward to ending on a strong note with a portfolio quality design piece that makes you feel like I'm really starting to get this. So have a great week. I look forward to seeing what you guys produce for your post-course assessment.